Oh my God, Bitcoin is crashing, crypto is crashing, all my positions are out of range, my loan to value ratio is all out of whack, my entire portfolio is in shambles, is crypto done, is DeFi dead, should I rebalance, should I not, should I pay back some of my loan, what do I do? In this video, I want to talk about it. It is Monday, January 13th at 1 p.m. But the funny thing is this is nothing new. We saw this happen here. We saw it happen here. We saw it happen before. Let's just remember that a year ago, Bitcoin was around $41,000. Now it's 93 as of this moment. 3 months ago, Bitcoin was around 60 something, 61, 62, and it was kind of stuck there for actually quite a while. You can see this range we set that we were yield farming Bitcoin and making a ton of cash flow. So this to me does not worry me. In fact, we're seeing a bit of support here, which is awesome. And we saw the RSI index showing us that we were overbought. So it's not really surprising to see it kind of hanging out in Bitcoin bouncing off this 92. We could see the RSI get back into the 30s, and then we could see reversal, and we could see Bitcoin finally making its next leg up. I can't control the markets though, so my interest is in cash flowing my crypto. But yes, when the markets have a really sharp pullback, which again, in this instance, like what we saw over the last day or two, isn't really like a major crash and pullback would be back to like 70s and 80s. And that's when I'd be like, oh, okay, things are really out of whack. This is minor. So a few things. I don't want to lock it in permanent loss. So I sit on my hands, especially because there's strong support, and I don't rebalance my positions. Even if I'm out of range for a week or two, doesn't bother me. I do get into some new pools and new ranges with the profits that I've been taking through this whole period here. Remember, I am always taking profits. And as Bitcoin started hovering above that 100, there was some really awesome profit taking opportunities here. I mean, Sui as well. Sui for a little while there went over $5. There's a massive profit taking opportunity. And then what I do, of course, is I sit on more and more stables and I can redeploy it into new positions. So buy back Sui into a new range and start cash flowing again, even if I have other positions that are out of range. So for example, over here on Aave, you know I'm big on lending out my ETH and BTC, borrowing against it, getting into positions. All of my positions on VFAT are out of range right now. All of them, they're offline. It doesn't bother me. I do not want to rebalance and lock in a ton of impermanent loss. What I will do is in my profit-taking wallet, which again, I'm always taking profit. As long as we were cash flowing at sometimes over $1,000 per day. So I'm able to take that, set it aside. So when the markets do pull back, I've got assets I can deploy. So I'll go over to my other wallets. And as you can see, 142K sitting on the sidelines over here on Base, ready to deploy. Another $32,000 over here sitting on Polygon, ready to deploy. I've got over $100,000 on my Tangent wallet, which again, I should be creating yield with it, but right now I'm not because I'm lazy, ready to deploy. Over on the Sui blockchain, a little less, but $20,000 worth of profits, ready to deploy. And with what the markets are doing right now, like I'm just kind of sitting on the sidelines. I don't react. I give myself 24 hours. I mean, if Bitcoin went to 80K or 70K, I deploy all of it. Right now, it's just not enough of a shakeup for me to take any drastic action. What I do want to remind you of is your loan to value ratio. Make sure you're watching this. I'm comfortable around 40%. I don't mind if it gets up to 50%, especially in blue chips. What I will do is take some of my profits and pay down some of this debt so I stick around the 40%. It just makes me feel a little better, but I'm not worried about any of this. We're already seeing kind of Bitcoin creep up. I mean, for a while there, we saw $88,000 or $89,000 on that little wick there. I'm honestly like, I'm zero worried about it. And it's so interesting. If you're brand new to crypto, I understand how emotionally it may be like, is Bitcoin going to zero and you're making some emotional decisions. Like, go back through history. There were some big pullbacks. I mean, even during the sideways action, we still went from like 72 down to 56 and then back up and back down and back up and back down. This is normal. Nothing to be worried about. And again, if you layer in some basic moving averages, like look at how high above the moving average we are. Look at how high on the RSI index we were. It really doesn't surprise me that we're seeing this pullback. And no, I'm not worried about it. No, I'm not rebalancing. I'm not going to lock in that impermanent loss because I calculated it would take me about 3 weeks of fees to make up for a rebalance right now. So I don't want to do that. and I will open some new positions with the profits so I can still keep cash flow going. And that's kind of that. I hope this helps. I mean, if you've been in crypto for a couple of years, this is probably no big deal to you. Like, let me know in the comments. Like, is this freaking you out, or are you taking the opportunity to buy more? And the longer you're in this game, the less this stuff bothers you, and the more you're able to just sit on the silence and not do anything. If you haven't been in this game for a long time, then I totally understand why this can seem so stressful. And, we can make some, we are tempted to make some questionable decisions. I would say if you have profits sitting on the sidelines, which you should, then you could deploy that. I wouldn't deploy all of it. I think the markets could still see more red. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if Bitcoin dipped under that 90 for a little while, but it doesn't bother me because I'm long on all my positions. And on top of that, I'm sitting on more and more profits every single day. The more green the markets are, the more profits I have. The more red the markets are, the less cash on hand I have because I deploy it. It's so opposite of what most people do. But if you can do that, I can promise you win this game. About 1% or 2% of investors do it. 98% are like herd mentality, doing the exact wrong thing at the wrong time because they're emotionally reacting. Like, I want this YouTube channel and everything we produce to just be a bit of a beacon of like logically thinking through what's going on in the markets and ultimately really making contrarian moves. Most people are doing the complete opposite. And so I'm not saying that what we're talking about is easy, because emotionally you're going to want to do what most people do, but logic has to prevail, especially when you're in crypto. Let me know if that landed. Let me know if it helps. With that said, in the comments, do let me know what kind of content do you want to create on this YouTube channel. We try and create a diversity of content, but we want this content to be specific to you. So if you have any specific questions on anything we talked about, do let me know in the comments. And no, DeFi ain't going anywhere. Crypto's not going anywhere. We are not crashing. We are not burning. It's a slight correction. And in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now, you're going to be very happy with yourself that you stayed invested, you stayed in the game, and you kept cash flowing and building up your portfolio. Because although I can't predict what the markets are doing, I can tell you with certainty one thing. Your cash is losing value every minute, every hour, every week, every year. Your cash is losing value, 7%. On a good year, you are losing 7% of your purchasing power. That is guaranteed. Any money you have sitting anywhere is losing 7%. That's on a good year. So I am happy to take the bet to invest my fiat into, basically anything else. I feel better holding collectible cars all day long than cash in the bank, which is why I've been collecting cars. It's like anything but cash, anything but cash. And to me, a lot of the blue chips I'm in have appreciated 100, 200, 350% last year. Whereas my cash lost 7, 8, 9, 10, 12%. If you're in Canada, it's lost a lot more than that. And I think we forget that, and we think that cash is safe. It's not. It serves a purpose. You can sit on profits. You can sit on in the sidelines, but make sure that you have a plan for it. You're not just sitting there for this false sense of security, because it's the least secure thing you could do. I really hope that helps. Any questions, let me know. With that said, I'm out of here. Have an awesome day. Peace.